All right, guys, Mikey here from Mikey's Iron Rage. And guys, I got another banger for you today. And we're going to do it on Phil the Gut Heath versus Phil the Gift Heath. Phil the Gut Heath at the 2020 Mr. Olympia versus Phil the Gift Heath at the 2011 Mr. Olympia. And the reason why I say 2011 Phil Heath is the gift and 2020 is the gut is because in 2020, his midsection was just so fucking blown out. He looks so bad, as you could see in these pictures. The midsection is just the focal point of the whole fucking physique. I mean, when you look at his physique, your eyes just go straight to the fucking midsection. Otherwise, the rest of his physique is not too bad. But in my opinion, I just think Phil tried to get way too big. I mean, in the off season, he just gets humongous. He gets up to like 280 something pounds in the off season, which is just way too big. Kevin Levrone and these guys back in the day, they used to come into the competitions at 245, 250 at 5'9", which is the same height as Phil Heath, but yet they would come in so much more aesthetic. That's because they're using different drugs. But in the off season, they would only get up to like 260, 265 pounds at the most. Phil just gets up to just way too much weight in the off season, and then that trickles down into his prep, and it just throws everything off. Then you mix the insulin, the peptides, and all that other bullshit, and you got a recipe for fucking disaster. But I digress. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this awesome video footage of Phil the Gift Heath 2011 versus 2020. And so without any further ado, guys, let's get it on. And we got the first pose of the night, the front relaxed. And this one's going to go to 2011. You see what I'm saying, guys? Your eyes just go right to the midsection when you look at Phil Heath's physique. He's not very wide. We all know that. His lats might be flaring out a little bit more in 2020. But he holds the pose like a badass in 2011. His midsection's a lot tighter. His abs are more cut. His quads have more cuts to them. His quads in 2020 were washed out. So is his midsection. So all in all, I'm going to give 2011 the point for the front relaxed. All right, guys. Now we got the front double bicep. And this one's going to go to 2011 as well, even though in 2020 his arms were pretty big. They are maybe a little bit peakier in 2011, but the silhouette is just a lot better in 2011 because of the midsection. And look at his waist, how much thicker his waist got. My God, he looks horrible. And I don't mean to knock on Phil Heath, man, but 2020, he should have never came back. But I digress again. All right, guys. Now we got the front lat spread, and I'm going to give this one to 2011 again because the silhouette just looks so much better. He looks like he's fading away in 2020. He really doesn't have many visible cuts to the physique. I mean, look at the midsection. I mean, look at the difference in the size of the fucking waist and the midsection. It's so much thinner in 2011. In 2013 was even better. And look at the quads. Look at the separation in the cuts in the quads for 2011. Even his lats look like they're flaring out more in 2011. And like I said, the silhouette just looks better. So 2011 is going to take that one. All right, guys, off to the next pose. And we got the side chest shot. And I'm going to give 2020 a bone here. And I'm going to give 2020 the point. I think 2020, his chest might be popping just a little bit more. Maybe it's the lighting. And he has a little bit more striations to the chest. And his arms and shoulders look bigger in this pose. Side sweep to the quads look a little bit better in 2011. And the serratus and midsection obviously look better in 2011. But I'm going to give 2020 the point there. All right, guys, now we got the ab and thigh, and look at the difference here. This is the reason why I wanted to make this video, guys. We all know that 2011 is going to win this comparison, but the reason why I wanted to make this video was just to show you guys the difference between 2011 and 2020. It was only a 9-year fucking difference. I mean, his midsection, it looks like an alien's about to fucking explode out of his midsection, right, guys? He just looks absolutely fucking horrendous in the ab and thigh. So 2011 is going to take the point because in 2011 his abs were the most deeply cut. All right, guys, now we got the side tricep, and this was a tough one because Phil Heath looks great in both years, but 2020 is going to take the point here. I think his side tricep is a little bit thicker. I think the silhouette might look a little bit better. His shoulders have nice striations to them. His chest looks great. His midsection don't even look that bad. And his side tricep is a little more deeply cut. So I'm going to give 2020 the point for the side tricep. All right, guys, off to the next pose. And we got the crab most muscular. And this one's going to go to 2011, but it was a tough one. If 2020, his midsection wasn't protruding, I'd go with 2020 in this pose. And it's the way Phil's holding the pose. In 2011, Phil held this pose perfectly. Then as the years went on, he didn't hold the pose that great. So the pose didn't look as good. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like when he holds the pose the way he's holding it in 2011 compared to like 2013, it just makes his physique look a lot better. All right, guys, now we got the hands clash most muscular. And this is another one 2011 is going to get the point for. I mean, like I keep saying, the fucking midsection, my God, it's so bad. And his fucking physique is just like fading in 2020. I'm telling you guys. So 2011 is definitely going to get the point for the hands clash most muscular. Plus, he just looks a little bit bigger in 2011. All right, guys, off to the next pose. And we got the rear lat spread. And this one's going to go to 2020. I know I scaled the picture back a little bit more for 2011. Well, for 2020, but I'm going to go with 2020. I think he has a little more detail. I think that his traps are popping a little bit more, and his lat insertions look a little bit better. His lats have a little more detail to them. The hams and glutes look great, so 2020 is going to take that one. I'm going to give 2020 a bone there. All right, guys, now we got the last pose of the night, the rear double bicep. And he looks a little thicker in 2018, but the rear double bicep looks better in 2011. I don't know what it is, but Phil's back looks wider in 2011. Hams and glutes look a little bit better in 2011. His calves look a little bit better in 2011. His lower back looks a little bit better in 2020, but I'm going to give 2011 the point for the rear double bicep. All right, guys. So let's tally them up here. We got 2011 with 7 points, and we got 2020 with 3. So it was 7-3. It could have even been 8-2. And the reason why, like I said, I wanted to do this video was just to show you guys the difference between 2020 and 2011. I mean, it was only a 9-year difference, and his physique just totally went to shit. His midsection looked the worst here. His midsection and his waist was the fucking widest I've ever seen it. But I digress. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this awesome video footage of Phil the Gift Heath. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Mikey's Iron Rage.